platform no bigger than the one I'm standing on. If he'd have crabbed that bird about 2 feet to the right, he'd killed all of us. The other direction, he'd have slipped right off the mountain. It was that tight. I mean, it was God going through his hand. I don't know how he did it, man. He put me on that bird, or they carried me, put me on the bird, and we sat there. It seemed like forever. I was like, man, you need to go. And there was a gunfight going on like you wouldn't believe. And God, it seemed like it was forever when we were sitting up there. He had to offload. I can't get into it. But anyway, there's so much more to this story than you'll never hear about. Due to classification or whatever. Just won't hear about it, period. Unless you're there. And man, I owe him my life. We jumped off the side of that mountain. I don't really remember much of it after that. I was in pretty bad shape, but I remember stopping one or two times, and then they hauled me out of the bird. And they were carrying me to another aircraft. And I made them carry me back over to his cockpit. I remember putting my hand on the windshield. I remember my hand coming back, and then they carried me back, and then I passed out. I made it that far. And I get up and tell this story. I don't know why I do it, but I'm no different than any of the other guys in the military sitting in uniform or not in uniform out in this audience. Every one of them has a story just like this, if not crazier. I just ran into a guy that I was in Ramadi with. After I was in the hospital for about a year, I went back to Ramadi in 06, 07. It was the worst place on the planet. And I ran into a guy over there that I slung lead with out there. I mean, it's a small community that we live in. And I can tell you right now that we appreciate everything that you do for us. We appreciate everything you hand up and hand out for us. And I speak for myself and a couple other of my teammates, but when I joined the military, trust me, I joined it for God and country. That's all I knew. I came out of there different. I came out of there because of my guys. That's what I joined for, come to find out. And that's what I told you I miss the most. It's the one thing I can't replace. It's the one thing I can't get back. It's that empty hole that'll never be filled. I mean, guys, I'm sure everybody's heard about it out here. I mean, those guys do the drugs and the drinking and just whatever, and the next thing you know, they're in a hole so deep that there's only one way out. I've never been down that hole. I don't know about it, so I can't talk about it. But I've seen my buddies do it. It's a dang travesty, man. Because I've seen war fighters like you wouldn't believe drink themselves to death. I don't know how something like that happens. But like I said, I ain't up here to preach a message at you, and I ain't here to tell you anything you ain't ever heard. You know what I mean? So we do appreciate every time you walk up and say thank you. That's all you really have to do. That's it. We don't want anything else from you. I mean, we're grateful for everything you do for the guys who are out and their families and helping out, but that's not what it's about. We don't. I mean, it's one of them deals where that starts happening. That's the most embarrassing thing. I get so uncomfortable when y'all start doing that stuff. You don't even understand. I mean, it's everything I got to stand up and say, hey, we just don't do that. That's not our style. And it's actually a tough situation to get put into, especially being out of combat. But thank you, though, for everything that you do. Thank you for being here for this and for supporting all of our guys. We can't thank you enough. God bless. Thank you.